Good afternoon and welcome back to Guna Matters. Now I'm in the car, obviously. It's a very nice day out, but I first want to just apologize for if there's any unnecessary noises behind me or in the background or whatever you. Forgive me. This is the only time I obviously can have this video, and yeah. Anyway, nonetheless, hey, what's happening with my artwork? I only have a few segments, and but now the artwork is not, it's not playing the game with me. Oh, come on, man. Let's see. Okay, if I can't get the artwork up, let me just go there. And okay, let's see. Right, I've got that there. You won't obviously be able to see it, but I am. Yeah, come on. All right, there we go. Yeah, sorry for that. A bit of delay on my part for my artwork, but you know what? I can still talk about that, and you won't be able to see that. This is probably why you won't be able to see it. It's because it's still open on the other platform. All right. Nonetheless, guys, again, welcome to Cashbro. Sorry, welcome to Guna Matters. Please, as it says here, where is it? Yeah. Where? Yeah, there we go. There. Hit the like button, and of course, this is Guna Matters, where you can subscribe. Subscribe to Guna Matters, hit the like button, and of course, make sure that you hit the bell for all the notifications. The transfer, the transfer, the transfer, the transfer. It's getting to me. It's getting to me a lot. I'm not even sure what's happening. I mean, it has been announced that we obviously concluded the so our new signings is Kai Havertz, Jeroen Timber, and of course Declan Rice. But we also did some internal contracts, which is Bukayo Saka, Aaron Ramsdale, Martinelli, William Saliba, one of the most important signings that we could make this summer, and that's about it. But we are not done yet, because according to Mikel Arteta, he has said that obviously the Declan Rice deal was taking a lot of time, and we always knew it's gonna happen after the 105 million pound was agreed with West Ham. It was only the small little nitbits that frustrated us in terms of the terms and the contract of the wording that apparently was not, according to the lawyers of Arsenal, particularly structured properly. And that was the whole delay, whether it was a PR stunt or whether it was a genuine delay, we won't know. But that is done and dusted. Now, there are so many other rumors, and I only chose three particular team members on their way out. But as you could see in the thumbnail, when the schedule was made, there's a thumbnail of more than just 3 players, and it consists of Thomas Partey, Tierney, Cedric Soares, Nuno Tavares, and Balogun. That is the 5 players that was in my thumbnail. And the thumbnail had the question, transfer business done? So let's get into it immediately and see how we can unpack the possibility of what's going to happen. And please remember, this is only rumors. It is not. This is not agreed upon with any team. It was not also announced by the club. But these are the reports out there, and that several journalists and several about this. Now, our first person to talk about is Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey apparently is not with the team in USA due to some speculation. And it goes to say in the report is that Thomas Partey is also missing from the squad. Some reports say he is due to rejoin Arsenal next week, having played in the 1-1 draw with Nürnberg last week. But other reports are saying that he has agreed to join a Saudi Arabian club, according to the reports in the Middle East. Now, is that true? Is it a situation of Partey not being in the US with the team for preseason because he might be on his way out? There was obviously rumors and reports prior to this that Thomas Partey would like to join Juventus. But having a very good season last season, I don't think Arsenal would want money less than about, I think, 50 million pounds for Partey. He's 30 years old, and he's he's had a very good season last season, and it would be a loss if we had let him go for even less than 30. So I think the club would want to have obviously the maximum amount for Thomas Partey, and it would be a good deal to let him go on 30, and I think another year and a half on his contract. Now, you got to remember, we obviously bought him for 45 million from Atleti, and his first season, it wasn't the best. And of course, last season, he obviously came out of blocks very quickly. He had a bit of a injury scare, although I've missed him, obviously. And but I think the club, if the club is willing to let him go, it would not be for less than 50. I would think, because he still have a couple of seasons of on the highest level of performance, whether it be at Arsenal, because I mean I would not like to see him go because of the pivotal role that he has played last season. And of course, sometimes we can also play a double pivot with him and Declan Rice in the center when it comes to pardon, the likes of the big teams in City and Liverpool, Manchester United. I'd love to have him stay at Arsenal and possibly have another good season and sign an extension on his deal, where we can maybe also get some money for him. But that is the risk that that would be taken if we not let him go now, where he could go on a high, and of course get some good money for him in return in this summer. The risk that we will obviously take is that when there is my artwork is now ready. Let's just go here. Let's just see. Yeah. All right. So this is the players that I have put on there. Let's just take that away. Let's take this away, and yeah, leave that. So as you see there, this Thomas Partey, this Nuno Tavares, Folarin Balogun, Cedric Suarez, and of course Kieran Tierney. Those are the players that I've got on my list for departures. But as I've mentioned, I only chose three of those players, which is um, obviously taken part of the first team. Although Balogun was not um, at Arsenal to be in the first team, but he's a first team player now because of his stint in France. So yeah, that is Thomas Partey. He's a Ghanaian. He's 30 years old. He's at Arsenal, obviously, and he's a defensive midfielder. And like I said, the club is not willing to let him go for 50 unless a good deal comes through and say, look, yeah, these 40 million, what have you? Um, and then, of course, he wanted to go to Juventus, and there's the Saudi clubs that has also been reported that Thomas Partey has been agreeing personal terms with a Saudi Pro League club. Whether that is true or not, we can't obviously rule out the possibility of him leaving to a Saudi. Obvious because of a lot of Saudi clubs are coming in for Premier League players, also Premier League proven elderly senior players that has obviously had their run in the Premier League, but still opportunity for them to continue in the Premier League. Hence, the Saudi clubs come out and possibly make good offers for these type of players. So if one of these Saudi clubs comes in for Arteta, sorry, for Partey, it has to be said that it need a good fee for him to be released by Arsenal. And then of course the the next one is it is Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney has been linked to the likes of Newcastle and Aston Villa. Obviously, that has been quiet down now. I haven't had any talks about that. I think he had a good game on last week against Nürnberg when he came on second half. He had a couple of good runs there. He had a good stint in the middle as he be an inverted player. But there's also talks of João Cancelo to obviously come to Arsenal. Well, not come to Arsenal, but has been linked to Arsenal, and that of course would uh, pave the way for Tierney to leave the club and to be released and sort of accept any good offer that come with him. Because earlier today um, I read something where Edu is trying to, hey, what am I doing here? Yeah, is trying to change the narrative in the club where it concerns the outgoings. When we sell players, we sell them either for cheap or we let them stay out their contract, and then and these guys are going for nothing to other clubs. And these clubs that come in for them, they obviously benefit from these players. And Edu is trying to change that Whereas we see, I mean, some of our first team players like Xhaka, I mean, Xhaka went for 21.5 million, which was a good deal from a Bayer Leverkusen at a 31-year-old. And why can't we get something for the likes of Partey in a region of 35 million? For Kieran Tierney, as I said, has been linked with Aston Villa, with the guy who actually brought him into the club, Unai Emery. Also are very very interested in getting Tierney to Aston Villa. That also obviously died down for a little bit, and then of course Eddie Howe is also a long-term favorite for the Scotsman, and I think if any of these teams, I mean, last season it was Manchester City that was interested in Kieran Tierney. Um, and Kieran Tierney is obviously a lot to show still for us, especially when we can rotate more in terms of him not being injured most of the season. I mean, last season he hasn't really been injured. He had a couple of games that where he started, had a couple of games where he came in and did brilliantly. And I think I would keep Tierney in the club. But if he had to let go, I'm sure the club would want a phenomenal fee for him. I think he's also close to 25, 30 million pounds worth player because of his age and also because of what he can bring to any club. So, but that also again remains to be seen whether Kieran Tierney will be one of these guys to leave the club. And then my last person that I thought could leave the club is Balogun. Now, this youngster, 22 years old, obviously he committed his allegiance and his career to United States of America, having to still come through the ranks of Arsenal. Pardon me. I think, um, in my opinion, I would like to see his worth at Arsenal before we really sell him. The club has slapped a 50 million pound value on him, and then there's the likes of quite a few players that are interested in him, like Marseille, Inter Milan. Now I heard early today, I read that Chelsea would like to have the player. West Ham are interested in the player, and then of course these are the top European teams that are willing to negotiate for Fuller and Balogun. Personally, I would like to let him stay. The player came out to say that he's not willing to go out on loan again, but he wants the number one spot in the number nine. Now, if you look at the game against Nuremberg the other day, our first preseason game. Look, it has to be said also that he's only a friendly. It is only the first preseason game. But if it was me as a striker, I would I would sort of go out on a limb to perform and fight and show the manager that, you know what, if you're going to let me go, this is the reason why I say you shouldn't let me go. This is the reason why I say you should make me your number one striker. And that also it's very unlikely because look what happened to Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Look what happened to Guendouzi. Look what happened to the guys that said this is what they want to do, and the manager didn't obviously that way. A perfect example, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He wanted to play in the midfield, whereas the manager said rather play in the right back. So Follerin wants to be the number one striker, and for him to play in that game, the second half against Nuremberg last week, it was his perfect opportunity to make Mikel Arteta make a choice Yes, he's gone with the squad to USA, and hopefully he can have a good preseason. Because personally, like I say, I want to see him show his worth at Arsenal. I mean, it's good and well to score goals in a French league. It's good and well to go to the Eredivisie perhaps to perform there. It's not the Premier League, so we know what Eddie could do. Eddie did well when he was called upon, but Eddie wasn't the guy, and a lot of Arsenal fans and pundits said that Eddie is not the guy to take Arsenal forward. So we know and we've seen what Eddie does in the Premier League. We have not seen what Folarin Balogun can do. So I would rather have him stay at Arsenal and show that he can do it. And I think Mikhail should talk to the youngster and put him down and say, "Yes, lad, I hear you, but you are gonna have plenty time to play. You're gonna have play in the Europa League, in the UEFA League. You're gonna play in the Premier League. You're gonna play FA Cup. You're gonna play Carabao Cup. So there's plenty opportunity for you to play." For now, I don't think you should be number one, but you can come into the ranks and show and fight for your position like anybody else should. So I think give the guy the opportunity to play for Arsenal this season. Yes, we run the risk, obviously, to lose close to 45 million for the player. If we let him go this season, we could still get good money for him. But we also run the risk of letting of leaving goals on the table. So for him, obviously, to come in and perform well. Now, I want to talk about that two goals that he missed in the game last week against Nuremberg. Now, those are the sitters, and those are the type of games and goals that he missed in the French league with Reims. Um, Everybody obviously think that yes, he scored 20 odd goals in the league for France. He was at one stage the top goal scorer, but those are the goals that similarly he have missed in the French league. So I still would think he needs some time in the Premier League. For the time that he has played in the Premier League before, it's not enough to suggest that he should be our number one. And one season in the French league also doesn't suggest that he should be our number one striker. I would rather say keep him and let him fight for his position and give him those opportunities against um, the likes of Burnley and Luton and those type of games where he can start and show forth what he has been made of. I mean, those are the type of things that you need to obviously consider for a player of his age and of his ability, the talent that he possesses. So I think yeah, Arsenal should give him that opportunity to do that. And yeah, that's about what I think of the players that might be leaving. Like I said, is Thomas Part. Look, let's recap. It is Fowler and Balogun. Like I say, the club has placed a 50 million pound value on him. Thomas Partey. The rumors are that he has been agreeing personal terms with a Saudi pro club, and of course, also previously reported that he might go to Juventus. Um, so yeah, I don't know about Thomas Partey. I would still like him to stay at the club because of the season he had last season, and of course the thing that we're playing City, United, Spurs, Liverpool, Chelsea, all the big clubs, Newcastle, where we can have a double pivot with Partey and Declan Rice, and then last but not least, Kieran Tierney. Um, Kieran Tierney, a left back that was linked before to Newcastle and Aston Villa. So yeah, those are the guys that I thought could leave the club and possibly show show their worth to the club where we can get funds for them. Now, I just sorry, I just want to see this. Sorry, man. All right, so yeah, there's this the squad that has gone to US. I'm not sure if it is breaking news, but this is the squad of the guys that has been left out of the squad, which is Emil Smith Rowe. Emil Smith Rowe, obviously, as we know, has been representing England in the under 21 Euro Championship where they won the final. He played the final 66 minutes, and of course, he had 6 appearances where he had 3 starts in the competition. Thomas Partey, as I said, there's 2 reasons why what is reported. He's also missing due to Arsenal. Due to the reports are saying that he is due to rejoin Arsenal next week, having played in the 1-1 draw with Nuremberg last week. But also, other reports are saying that he has agreed to join a Saudi club, according to the reports in the Middle East. And then, of course, Reece Nelson has been reportedly injured, where he has not made the squad to US. Then, of course, Pepe and Lakonga also have injuries apparently. But we all know that is something that might just be a reason why they didn't make it, because the club obviously want to get rid of them. And meanwhile, it is also understood that Cedric Suarez is available for sale, and it is a possible that Fulham might have an interest in keeping him at the Cottage. So yeah, as you said, seen earlier on, the players that I have highlighted to maybe leave the club is Folarin, Thomas Partey, Kieran Tierney, Nuno Tavares, and of course, um, Cedric Suarez. Those are the players that I have um, sort of chose today, that the rumors are that they might just part ways with Arsenal. So yeah, have your thoughts, have your say about what has been said in this video. But one thing that I do want to say is big ups to Edu, big ups to Mikola Teta, and also big ups to the owners that has obviously gave of their money to, well, not their money, the club's money, to acquire our players that we've brought in, the likes of Kai Havertz, Urian Timber, Declan Rice, and as we understood that Mikel Arteta is not completely done with this transfer window. So yeah, um, he has plans depending on Thomas Partey leaving. Obviously, we're gonna need another central midfielder, possibly a defensive midfielder. There's talks about the Brazilian Batello, 23 years old, a youngster that can play in a defensive midfield role. And then, of course, Romeo Lavia is still there. The club don't want to pay 50 million for him. So yeah, that is basically what has happened. So let's like the video, share the video, and of course, if you've missed any of the segments, you can watch it again from the start. And this is Guna Matters, where your opinion matters. Cheers.